Few years ago now, I created a video that asked the question, why don't I want to play video games anymore? Hello, internet friends. I'm worried. I'm very worried. I suddenly don't want to play video games anymore. It started about 3 weeks ago, and I've been looking today to see if there's any games that I want to play, and I can't find anything whatsoever. For me, this is really unusual. A lot of people have watched that video. They still do, for some reason, and someone got in touch with me the other day and just said, what did you do to get over this? I've seen that you're playing games loads now, and which really made me think, what has changed in the last 2 years since I made that video? Maybe I can just say that as a follow-up. If you haven't seen the video, just kaboom, go and check it out for some context and then come back, because I'm going to try and answer that question. How did I get back into playing video games in this one? Number one, what did I do? I took a break and I stopped worrying about it so much. One of the big things about doing a YouTube channel, but also being involved in a massively multiplayer online game, is that you hear from a lot of people and you get a lot of advice. And one of the massive things that made a difference for me was just hearing from people who were experiencing the same thing. And it made me realize that I was not alone in feeling it. And there was nothing necessarily wrong in not feeling like you want to take part in your favorite hobby. I've been playing games since I was so young. When I don't feel like playing them, it feels like a big deal. And it seems silly to people who aren't into games because they don't see the big importance of them. But if you follow football, soccer for my American people, or if you play American football, you know the passion that people have for those teams. If you're into any kind of sport, or you're into art or music or whatever it is, people kind of understand that passion, but they still don't necessarily understand a passion for games. If they're a big part of your life, you worry if you're not interested in playing them anymore. So remember that it can be normal to not feel like doing the thing that you're really into for a period of time. And it's through hearing from you lot on the internets, and also the people I've been playing MMOs with who just chat to me and tell me about things, their experience, that has made a big difference. I would say that as well. Gaming, if you're a single player gamer primarily, and you get your kind of entertainment and feedback, your rewards from doing achievements in single player games, that can be a little bit isolated and you get inside your head. And if you're an introverted person who doesn't feel like doing that's absolutely fine. But I found that for my own sense of the hobby that I'm into being of interest, getting in touch with other people who share that passion is really important. And it can be a specific game. Like for me, I've been playing loads with Star Wars Galaxies players. But, you know, just being interested in gaming more broadly, like on a forum and talking to people online, makes it less, I don't know, fraught in your head when you're not getting exactly what you want from the game that you're playing. You can talk about it with other people. So I would say other people are pretty important to maintaining an interest in gaming more broadly. Certainly that's been the case for me. The next thing I would say is just that it might not be you. You know, if you look at AAA gaming, the picking on a particular game, the Avengers game that came out recently, I know it has a few devoted fans, but it didn't do anything like the business that was hoped for from a massive, arguably the largest entertainment property in the world, the Avengers. The game itself was so uninspired and so by the numbers. It was well made. It looked great. And in terms of presentation, great, but so familiar. So we've seen all this stuff before that it's not surprising that sometimes we feel like I'm not inspired by playing these types of games. I'm thinking big budget AAA gaming. There must be something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You're a discerning gamer who wants to be challenged, wants something new, and that's not being delivered to you. And therefore, it's natural that you're kind of like, well, I don't feel like playing these games. And I think that's a lot of the time why we gush about games like the Stanley Parable or Undertale that break expectations and push us to think and experience new things. Sometimes they're not quite as profound as as people say they are, but they're so different to the kind of by the numbers rote stuff that is offered by big companies that we think they're the most profound thing that was ever created, and they're great games, but it's in contrast that they are great sometimes. And those companies, it's understandable because it's become such a huge business now. They can't take risks, and so they're giving us what we've had before. And because we don't want to play what we've had before, we love games, but we want to play something different, something that challenges us, something that changes the dynamic a little bit. And when that doesn't happen, we think, there's something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. That's also a factor. The more and more you game, the more difficult it becomes to be surprised. It's true in gaming. It's true in life in general, movies, whatever it is. As you become more of a connoisseur of the thing that you're into, it becomes harder to surprise you. And certainly age is a factor. You just accumulate more experience, and those experiences have shared elements. And even if a game comes along that, you can see how the original game that you're now interested in, you can pick it apart and you can see that's from there, that's from there, that's from there, that's from there. And maybe they combine in interesting ways, but it's very rare that you get something that you've never seen before in anything. It's usually a combination of things you've seen before. It would be lovely to go back to a time when you were younger and you're experiencing things for the first time. And I think that's why one of the reasons that some of those early games have such fond memories for a lot of people is because it's the first time you experienced that mechanic in a game. It's the first time you experienced that experience of playing that particular genre or whatever it was. So sometimes, I guess what I'm saying is that the feeling of not wanting to play games is A, not weird, B, it's not you, and C, don't be worried about it cropping up. It's if I said that it hasn't happened to me since then, I would be lying. I've taken breaks since then. The difference is I haven't worried about the breaks. I've even talked about it to my subscribers online and said, guys, I'm not feeling it at the minute. I'm taking a bit of a break. And again, being part of a community and hearing back from people makes it fine. It's like, yeah, fine. We all do that. Don't worry about it, mate. Okay, get back to us when you're ready to play again. It's all. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit behind the curve on these things, and I learn them a little late, and then waffle about them on the internet, and everyone just says, "Yeah, we came to terms with that years ago. Catch up." Yeah. So, I mean, the point of this video was just to try and give some advice to people. If I could sum it up in some bullet points, don't worry about it. Take a break. Might not be you, and just wait for that game that's interesting to come along. Do something else in the meantime. When you come back, you'll be more energized. And 3, if at all possible, even if you can't bring yourself to like go on the internet and talk to people because you're nervous about that, just get involved in a gaming community of some sort and hear back from people, because it makes a huge difference. I've learned that on YouTube. I've learned that. I mean, I kind of knew it because I've always played MMOs, but more recently I've found it with playing a particular MMO called Star Wars Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies Legends, shameless plug, go play it. Fantastic community of people. And I've been playing with them a lot. But I'm playing other games with other people now, and it kind of socialization begets socialization, and you want to do it. It becomes not a thing that you worry about. You just do it. Hopefully. Anyway, so those would be my 3 pieces of advice. Don't worry about it. Might not be you, might be the games. And get involved with the gaming community. See if those things help. I feel like I might not have given you a lot to go on there. I'm trying to think of something a little bit more profound, but maybe this is the wrong kind of channel for that. I'll stop waffling. Thanks for watching that original video and for watching this one. Sub up if you haven't already. Why haven't you subbed? Sub. Come on. I'm waffling into the internet for, what has it been? I'm actually recording. 11 minutes. Hopefully you've got your money's worth. I'll see you next time. Bye.